Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the most important game of the day here in the WellPlay Invitational by Vital Bet. Polarity versus Fantastic 5. It's gonna be a good one because it is an elimination match. One of the three matches remaining here in the lower bracket to find out who will join Kaipi in the grand finals. And yeah, lower bracket means a best of three. If you lose it, you're out. The winner of this one will move on. My name is Dragon Drop, happy to bring you the series. And I'm also happy to be joined by the one, the only, the masterful Johnny. How are you doing?
Today's an awesome day. In the United States, we got to wake up to fantastic dotes vis-a-vis El Clasico. I had a great breakfast, eggs, bacon, and toast. And now we get to watch Polarity in F5. I don't really know how much better it can get right now, to be honest, but
Well,
it's the dream.
you see another Jakiro here. I watched some bits and pieces of Alliance versus Navi, but I missed all the good parts, so I'm really sad about that. But hey, maybe these teams will make up for it in some way. We already
I'm
have.
hoping that you didn't see Jakiro get destroyed. It was a really
No,
sad day for you. For
I
EGM.
didn't really. No, fortunately. But game two was kind of hype. I heard some sort of
Oh my gosh.
Loda song. It's gonna be
Definitely
highlights
wish.
about it. All right, I'll watch it. I'll note that down. But yeah, enough about that for now, because the more I talk about it, the more I feel sad that I could not watch it because of stupid work. Let's talk about this game here. The Firebird already picked up, plus the Slaughter for Fantastic 5, so a bit of an interesting opener. And Polarity go for the Doom, as well as the Disruptor, and especially Disruptor. It's one of these support heroes that this scene especially really seems to value a lot in this meta, on this day and age.
Yeah, I think just with the popularity of Wisp and CAS Dota alone, the Disruptor by itself is just, a very powerful pick. And I'm also kind of curious after the Spirit Shuffle with, Xbox and Ghost Stick leaving, if this is is this going to be like an offlane Slardar? Is this now a carry Slardar? Is this a one position kind of thing that we've seen quite a bit recently, especially in most of the pro games? I don't know how people are feeling about him these days. I think he can do just fine in the off lane, but obviously, so much more valuable just to have farm. You get the Blink Dagger, get some early tank on him, the Armlet, BKB, and he can just do so much, especially just locking everyone down for the Phoenix Egg just to disrupt everything. So we'll see how they end up going with it.
I think both paths are viable. Depending on what you want to run, though, you need a mid hero that's does kind of the other thing that Slaughter isn't from their respective positions, right? If you look at the offlane Slaughter, you're looking to be much more of a space creator early. But the problem is that you might not get your quickest Blink Dagger timing, so you have to just kind of run in with sprint, throw out the ultimate, participate in those kind of early fights and pushes to get you there. But at that point, you can bring to the table what is expected of you. So at that point, maybe what mid hero that does a little bit more space creation, right? It's kind of a pace controller, as they say, something like a puck, right? That can help out the Slaughter who is lacking the blink, these kind of things, right? Whereas if you run Slaughter in one position, you can expect him to do a little bit more damage here and to tank up a little bit more, to brawl a little bit more instead of just kind of going in and out with crushes.
Yeah.
So would expect maybe even a Vanguard pickup, maybe that armlet that you were talking about, very popular and very effective. These kind of things, right? So, but he does fall off in terms of a carry in later parts of the game, so you will need a mid that'll pick up the slack on that front. But this game looks like the offlane Slaughter here with a Juggernaut, so looks like it's gonna be that probably more standard way to run him these days.
Yeah, I don't think the offlane Slaughter is all that bad. Yeah, the Blink's not going to be the fastest, but unless he's going up against a tri-lane, he'll do just fine. He's not going to be in real jeopardy unless he really kind of gets too low and gets in the way of the Disruptor and he gets glimpsed back. But even though you just save the crush. But that's the thing, like with offlane Slaughter, you just kind of skip the bash and you just put more points into sprint, knowing that you're not going to get the Blink Dagger. And just like you said, having like maybe a puck or someone that can initiate, lock people down, and he goes in and just does his thing. But regardless of how they decide to use the Slaughter, I mean, the Doom's just going to be terrified. You put amp damage on a hero that already has very poor armor rating, and he's just going to be destroyed. And it's also going to be really effective against the Dragon Knight, too, who obviously is going to have an innate ability to raise his armor early on, so that's going to help tear through him really quickly too.
Kind of like the Slug pick here. Can kind of deal with the Slaughter Amplify damage at the very least. Can kind of dodge out the Crush quite nicely. Also doesn't
I don't personally condone fish on fish violence though. Not a fan.
Definitely good carry pick there for Polarity, especially with the other heroes. Not quite as tanky as you would expect here with the Slaughter Amplify damage as you were talking about. But for Fantastic Five, they still have the option to go for this kind of material like a pack. Like I almost want to say I would like to see a Titan as well, but it's more of an offlane hero. You can't really get away with him in the mid lane anymore. That being said, up against a DK, it's maybe worth a shot, but in any case, you kind of want something that also works together with the Phoenix egg, right? That gives Juggernaut a little bit of extra space and fight to do some damage reliably and not having to spin out. So any sort of combo, even a Magnus, wouldn't be too bad, I think.
Spirit Breaker.
Space Cow.
Okay, for now.
Yeah, well,
We're talking about Space Creators, that's the Space Cow right there. So.
Yeah, it makes sense, but I'm just not really sure what he's like, what his job's going to be. Like, who are you actually going after? Like, the Disruptor can easily glimpse you back. Dragon Knight, you're really not going to do too much. You can slow him down briefly, but he's not really looking to move around too much. The Slark can just, I mean, he's too elusive. The Spirit Breaker will try to keep him down. I don't know. It's just, I would have went with you, maybe something with a little more guaranteed lockdown, but. And again, it's just a space created kind of thing. You got the Phoenix Egg going around. Space Cow can kind of do his thing and freeze up Slaughter a little bit. So it's just kind of maybe causing a more chaotic team fight. So
yeah.
But I mean, with Static Storm, and I don't know, I feel like that might be a little more difficult because Polarity, like they don't have like an amazing team fight, but like individually, if their heroes can kind of do what they want to do, I mean, it's pretty strong actually. Like you get a Doom out immediately, preferably most likely onto the Jug or the Phoenix at least at this point.
Yep.
Just prevent the Egg or the Omni Slash or even a Healing Ward. I mean, that's another skill that was pretty underrated as well.
Yeah. I think what Fantastic Five is thinking is that if they just pick up the Spirit Breaker, which can do a whole lot of work early on, also have a Slaughter, a Phoenix, and a Juggernaut, all of those can actually do quite a bit once they get just a few levels. They just want to get themselves ahead early and snowball off of that, because if you look at Polarity's lineup so far, none of these heroes really likes to play from behind.
Yeah, and wow, the last 3 Polarity bans all targeted toward BCC. I was surprised the Invoker was the last one though. I figured that would have been. I guess the DP. I mean, because they're kind of lacking push, so they kind of predicted that might be in the cards too. Plus the sounds be very, very strong as well, especially against the Slark. So.
Still Kuna Pain in the pool or something like that, but they're gonna go back for the Alchemist and... What do you make of that one?
I'm really hoping it's like a battle out, because they definitely need that initiation tool. I mean, because you don't really want the Phoenix going in first. The Slark's gonna have a pretty easy time of it, of the Phoenix Egg, and the Slardar being in the off lane. Do you think they might dual lane this? Maybe with the Phoenix maybe, and just kind of leave the Jug to his own devices? Because Timber, never mind.
Oh.
He's gonna need help.
He will need help indeed. Yes. Otherwise, yeah, would maybe an option that you could consider, just for Spirit Break and Slaughter, perhaps even. Phoenix in the safe lane kind of babysitting him for the first couple of levels until Juggernaut can get some healing wards out. But yeah, Timbersaw, it's kind of really good pick there for Polarity now, just because none of these heroes on Star Fantastic 5 are defensive in nature that they can actually do a whole lot of damage to zone them out. Like, they don't have some magical burst, harass, something like a Disruptor, Thunderstrike. Would be very good against Timbersaw, because you can just throw it out, then you don't right click, and Timbersaw doesn't necessarily get the reactive armor stacks from that, unless you can of course tank up a creep wave for a couple of seconds. So it's generally a very hard hero to deal with, especially if you have these kind of support heroes on the side of a 5 who are not necessarily the best gankers and finish offers, if you will, in the early levels.
Yeah, if you look at both sides, so I mean, I think the Timbersaw, like, definitely a really strong pick. I mean, the Alchemist is just gonna get torn through even with his ultimate up. I mean, it's he's gonna, yeah, like you said, he's gonna have free reign of that lane, so he's gonna be able to get as much farm and XP as his heart desires. And he can even afford to be a little greedy too, because I think you really want to be able to punish the Jug early, because he's the one that they're going to be looking towards. I mean, the Alchemist is going to get his farm. Like, you can try to focus him down and keep him at bay, but I think it's the Jug that you really have to worry about, honestly.
Well, Alchemist, if it doesn't really matter if he farms if he's the only one farming, right? If you keep the rest of his team down, he's not going to be able to 1v5. So it's kind of I feel like the most reliable way to kind of go about it. But yeah, anyway, if you guys are just tuning in, welcome. My name is Dragon Job, and this is Fantastic 5 vs Polarity. I'm also joined by Johnny, that's the lovely voice here, next to mine. And these are the teams. Oxen, standing in here, but playing for F5 for quite a while, I believe. He's on the Juggernaut in one position, BZZ on that Alchemist in the middle lane. Got RMN on the Phoenix. In the offlane, Yol on the Spirit Breaker, and another stand-in that I have not seen before, I believe. That's Cowling.
Okay, and for Polarity, Lil on the support Doom, Iceberg on that amazing mid-Dragon Knight. On the Slark, we will have Silent, Disruptor, Always Wanna Fly, probably his most iconic hero, arguably, and DK Phobos on the offlane Timbersaw.
Always Wanna Fly, Disruptor. Sometimes you can call him like Always Wanna Die, but even in death he creates so much space.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure every game that I've casted with you, Polarity, he's played Disruptor.
Yeah,
Almost positive.
probably. Yeah.
And I think he's okay with it that way. He does a damn good job.
I mean, if you can handle a hero in the fashion that he can, there's no reason not to pick him up every single time. And it just makes it so that if you're even, and if you take team fights, or if you're just slightly ahead, you can get so much farther ahead, almost like a bounty hunter in a sense, because you can keep getting these 3 pickoffs when you make the enemy run away from you. Just with a glimpse. Then the Static Storm, obviously huge team fight ultimate, can kind of catch someone like Phoenix off guard if it kind of swoops in to try and get the ultimate off, and then all of a sudden it just turns into a small little bird that you don't actually have to worry about anymore.
So BZZ grab, he has Grievel's Greed, he got the rune, he actually opted to go for the boots first instead of the bottle rush. It's just knowing that spamming out acid spray really is not going to do a whole lot against Iceberg once he gets at least 2 points in the Dragon Blood. Oh my god.
What?
What?
I did not expect that to happen.
That was literally the last thing I expected to happen.
Oh man. It's not a day of Dota without a missed first blood, I suppose. Yeah,
The hero that we were like talking up so much to get caster.
Oh, yeah. I know why it happened. DK Phobos, he went for the Timber Chain first, and this is not a Zai approved build. When Zai played Timbersaw the other day, just went reactive armor and just skipped the Timber Chain. That was up against it was also up against some rather nasty heroes, technically. Not up against Timbersaw though with that kind of health points. Now they're gonna go again here. Sunray charge, stuns buff a little bit. The Summoner Hunter can make himself get himself far enough away that he won't die, but he still takes quite a bit of damage. But yeah, you need the Directive Arm obviously, and then the Willing Death to just contest and harass more.
Yeah, he'll level it up now, but obviously the damage is already done. And speaking of damage done, the Slaughter Cow, he already gave up on it. He just finished up the Iron Talon. This goes for the hard camp.
DZ in the middle lane, being harassed a little bit by the roaming Doom. Lil found himself a creep, and now Lil is being charged up here. Doesn't have the Scorched Earth actually, on level 2, the Infernal Blade being shown, plus the Devour obviously. Then again, Yol also level 1 himself.
Yeah, doesn't even have the dash leveled up, but...
Yeah. Get a little bit of experience perhaps if he chooses to stick around Leech level 2. Yeah, probably best way to go. Alright, so how's the Slark doing? Fairly well, sitting on top of net CS shot as well, together with Oxen. So both offlaners not really able to provide as much pressure, and now DK Phobos. We got going on again, the Icarus Dive comes out, but another Timber Chain comes out. Oxen, nice little bash connecting, and the spin still goes. Doing a good amount of damage. He'll just be able to take up some creeps and heal back most of that back up again, which is kind of the issue if you don't kill him.
I'm just kind of curious. I mean, Yol, like, yeah, he can do the charging, but is there any real kill potential? Like, I just don't see him being able to take down Iceberg. Like the Slark is likely going to be able to get away unless he's like really careless. Always want to fly. Will have glimpse up. He's just holding onto the point now. I don't know.
I think they can actually get Iceberg here with the acid spray. Right now it doesn't have too many points of Dragon Split, only the one.
Oh yeah, you only put one.
The minus armor from the acid spray is also quite significant here right now. So if you get a lucky bash, or if you kind of manipulate the RNG a little bit, you get that secondary bash after the charge, then you might just be able to right-click him down. Especially if BZ maybe wants to go for an earlier point up into the unstable concoction. Just a value point to kind of follow it up with a little bit.
He's just gonna stack his own jungle for now, but yeah, I think he's just going super farm heavy, which I think you kind of have to. You're an alchemist, A, and B. I mean, it's if you kind of want this to go at least sort of late game, I think that way you can start, you know. Well, I think he has to get 6 slotted on, because it's. I mean, like you said, the slot art. It's like he's really not gonna get a whole lot done here. I mean, he's just doing the jungle camp thing, which is probably the best.
Lil got himself a center stun to go on him as well. Now the charge comes through. The follow-up stun was there already. BZZ will take out to the Scorched Earth. Charge still comes through. Nah, never mind, Yol. Besides, otherwise, now man fights up against Iceberg. You see, without the acid spray, all that armor will still be effective.
That's really odd. I don't think I've ever seen that early of a point in Dragon Tail, but yeah, it definitely pans out there as they get the kill on BZZ. And don't even have to commit too much for it either.
No.
Lil was roaming anyway, just kind of doing his thing, and yeah, even with level 1 Scorched Earth, they had enough. And they have to kill him before level 6, obviously, so this is the perfect time.
Alright, so what's this Phoenix doing? Right, our man just doing support things right now. He's didn't have a TP scroll to actually maybe try and counter it out. I feel like with a Sunray, it would maybe heal BZ up enough and maybe not turn it around, but at least keep him alive.
Yeah, they must get the immediate D ward here on the high ground.
Nice.
In the jungle there for our man. That's huge.
DKFO is actually doing quite well now, despite the death early. I mean, he's not been forced out into the jungle. At the same time, Kao Ling just doing his best farm up this off-lane camp. Does have the Iron Talon, so still doing it reasonably fast. And as a result, he's also past level 4, so Polarity also haven't been able to zone him out as much or shut it down too much. Okay, charge
And
comes through,
Iceberg
stun
top
onto Yol. Iceberg just pops his dragon form, but now rotations come in as well from the backline, so Kao Ling thinks otherwise. Especially with the glimpse back. Rotation in from the Doom, they will get the kill.
I've never seen such ease with someone taking the centaur stomp creep. Like the Doom little just runs in like without any effort at all. Just gets the war stomp. Somehow always has enough mana for it, just holding on to it and keeping Scorched Earth. Like he's just moving at the perfect time. His positioning's been amazing so far.
The fact that he has mana is kind of the craziest thing for me. He only has 300 and kind of want to use the Devour. Perhaps a Scorched Earth just to get just to farm some creeps in the jungle.
He's using Inferno Blade to like help farm creeps too. Like he's doing a really good job.
Probably has a bank of mana stashed somewhere, hidden in the woods that we don't know about. Like some mangoes spread around. Yeah.
The mango farm is
hidden mango farm, but yeah. Speaking of money,
carries
BZZ
doing really well. Damn. 51 CS on the Slark, Jug, 49 respectively, doing an amazing job. But like we said, the offlaner's not really having that great of a time. DK Phobos doing actually pretty well now. Yeah, he's almost level 6, which will really change the whole dynamic of that lane.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
What I'm wondering really is how much impact these mids are gonna have, though. I mean, Iceberg's kind of more of a static mid on Dragon Knight, whereas Alchemist with level 6, now up to level 11 now even. BZ's just taking the farm in the jungle. It's much more efficient here, especially if you get these golems that split into 2 more creeps. If he would have gotten this really small creeps down here as well, Small camp.
Another
Stacking that up now.
charge. Oh, he's just trying to get to the lane
Yeah.
faster. Yeah, this. I think now that DK Phobos. He hit 6 now. I think he's good to go.
BZ is just not lucky with the runes. Himself not haste instead of bounty again. Early hit the illusions, but now actually his jungle will be contested by Lil. But okay, Yola's there, going for the man fight. Yeah, they can't do anything. His level 3
It's in a place
Scorcher
of
still has the
protection.
stomp. Do you think F5 can actually just be happy just to keep farming here on BZ and Juggernaut?
Yeah, I mean the Slaughter already has like 1100 gold. He gives his Blink Daggers sooner rather than later. The Juggernaut, you know, right up there with CS.
Oh, stun in the middle lane, they're gonna go on the old follow up from Lil. Sunray's out this time around, a lot of burst damage though. With Iceberg maxed out dual breath. It's not gonna be enough this time. And it's just the push Spirit Breaker trying to soak some levels mid here. Not quite level 4, Armen can kind of do that now as BZZ comes in. Just chases him off. TP comes through actually now, crushing the backlines here onto Lil. It should be able to bring down, especially with spin coming through on Oxen. Good rotation there from the Juggernaut, just ensuring that you get that kill. But now glimpse back onto BZ, into the stun here, into the chakram and everything. Sunray comes out, and he's armor toggling his way through as well, as much as he can, plus the healing ward. This time around they have more than enough sustain. Of course his ultimate helping out too.
Yeah, he had a lot of help, but you brought that up in the draft. They just don't have the burst damage really to punish it. You know, like it's even the ultimate had a couple seconds on it, but even so, yeah, he was armor toggling through it. There just wasn't a whole lot. They threw everything at him. I mean, obviously Slark wasn't there, but you know, they got him down to just a little under half, and boom, good to go between the Sunray and the healing ward.
Maybe that's also the problem when you pick up your 2 supports that early in a draft, right? Because they picked Doom. Of course, they can also go offlane, so you can maybe shift it around a little bit if you really wanted to. But if you pick up your supports early, there's less of a chance to go back into something like an Ancient Apparition. Right, obviously, Alchemist was the complete last pick, I believe. No, Timbersaw was the last pick, right?
Mm-hmm.
The very last pick. So yeah, they were perhaps gone for that. They wanted to put the Doom in the offlane instead. Just to counter all of this healing, because then suddenly the kills get so easy. Sunray's not going to do anything, Healing Ward's not going to do anything, Alchemist Ultimate is not going to regen him up, and now Glimpse back here onto our men into the Static Storm. That's as easy as it gets. Just disrupt the gaming, man.
Definitely worth committing the ult there. The Static Storm cooldown's not all that big, and just guaranteeing the kill. I mean, he doesn't even have egg yet, and they just didn't want the Icarus dive. They wanted to guarantee the kill, which is fine.
I gonna need that too. Okay, Cowling, top lane, silent.
Ooh.
Strike clicks him down without even having to use the
Jeez.
ultimate. That is nasty.
Yeah, that actually really stinks too, because he had about 1800 gold, so he's getting really close to that Blink Dagger, so that's rough. And that actually finishes Slark's Shadow Blade as well too.
Yep. Bottom lane, bit of a smoke up. Oh, that's a Blade Fury. Already used by Ox, and that means he can now be wrapped around on a Doom even used into the kinetic field. And yeah, all he can really do is try to turn and fight, and his fate was already sealed. Polarity making really good rotations here, but now they're actually gonna lose their Dragon Knight at the same time in mid.
That's what you said. I mean, he is stationary, and typically like to see him maybe move around that ultimate and try to put a little pressure, but the rest of his team was in gank mode, so they didn't really have any support for him. So not the biggest loss, but I mean, they're gonna have to start paying attention to that kind of stuff because it's almost Radiance time on the Alchemist.
Yeah,
He's got 3k gold here, not the fastest of all time, definitely, but
that's the issue I see. But because I mean, we're talking about how Alchemist can't 1v5, but he can still be that frontline at this stage of the game, with the rest of your team has at least some levels to work with. And Phoenix, our man, got his level 6. Still missing level 6 on the Spirit Breaker, so it's a bit of an issue. You kind of really want to have that Nether Strike available for some extra lockdown on a single target, especially with these very tanky heroes. You need that extra lockdown to guarantee kills.
Yeah, but Yoel's been trying to farm those levels for so long, and
yeah,
unfortunately he got killed twice just kind of sitting in lane and mid while the Alchemist was farming, and You know, he's getting the kills too. He's got 2 kills to his name and an assist, but there's always 2 other heroes there soaking up the XP. And there's your Radiance, 13 minutes in. So
Look at this camp too. It's kind of the perfect alchemist camp with these small little kobolds. But little, gonna look to farm it up for that reason now to get them silent. But smoke rotation in from F5. They will not save the camp, but they might get a couple of heroes here. Silent actually gets charged too. Pops the, oh no. They actually missed the crush here and they don't get the amplified damage up on him. But they have another sentry here. Silent runs right into it, into the Omni Slash. Not quite dead just yet. They will go take out inside the acid spray. That's the first casualty and an important kill to get. And now there's a sun in the back coming out. Always want to fight. Tries to keep them away with the static storm, but it's not going to stop Yol charging through. Locks onto DK Phobos. Now there's the ultimate coming through back into the Sunray. He'll take out 2. Now TP comes in. If they really want to try and turn us around, they do. Lil and Icepick in backline, so a decent amount of damage here. And yeah, they dive. Not going to save him this time around. Silent also rejoining the fight, looking for the pounds. Might be able to get it onto Oxen here, who actually dodges it. BZ gets caught with it instead. Now the stun and the Doom, they really want to try and bring down his Alchemist, but Silent dies again here. BZZ will fall to the Doom. Same for the yeah, not same. So will the Spirit Breaker here to just the right clicks, but at the very least the one person survives, and Cal Ling's still looking for more. Doesn't quite have the mana for another crush though, so it was more to make sure that they scare them off and instead of anything else. But man, that was a dieback on the stock there.
Jesus, that was such a commitment. I mean, I don't know. Personally, the drag and drop approved method would probably just to be cut your losses. I mean, because you really weren't going to get a whole lot else out of that. But I mean, the re-goose attempt, I mean, you gotta have a little bit of, gotta give him a little credit. I mean, it was pretty ballsy. I wouldn't say it was worth it, definitely not. I mean, Slark was doing so well in terms of overall net worth, and now he's dropped down to 3rd, so, you know, it's, I get it, it doesn't cost a lot this early in the game, or 15 minutes in, it's not that big of a penalty, but, I mean, when you go to a snowballing hero like that, who's already doing very well in terms of net worth and general CS, that's kind of a big blow, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's not just the gold that you lose from buyback and the deaths, it's also the time that you're not spending farming. Always when the fly gets caught out on the backlines, but he does secure the tower kill.
It was such a huge fight bottom too, because they got the 2 pickoffs that allowed Yol to hit level 6, and he was able to use another strike to knock back DK Phobos back into the fray.
Yep.
Keep him in the sun very locked down, and yeah, he was just toast at that point. And the Radiance Burn just doing so much damage over that extended fight too.
Oh yeah. BZ can
go
for more tanky item, or just the Octarine, just to get some more health points to play with. That when he gets doomed up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the one thing that Polarity still have, right? The Doom, especially if he has the armlet going, can't turn it off. It's kind of a death sentence. So Iceberg here gets caught out here. Blink, Crush, ultimate coming out, but now a bit of a turnaround here. They get outside the Stack Storm though. Glimpse back on Cal Ling, but they also already have to walk away. Iceberg now gets caught with solo. Omni Slash will be brought down. The Sun in the backline. Not gonna explode onto anybody, but at least doing some AoE damage and chasing them away. DK Phobos with the long range. Timber Chain, but hey, guess what? Sunray is also a pretty damn long range. Silent will be able to make the TP out, but Fantastic 5 with a fantastic team fight. Now looking to turn it into Tier 1 Tower as well.
That was just a tiny misplay by Always Wanna Fly, just barely missing that kinetic field and the static storm combo, which really just told the tale for the rest of the fight too. I mean, Yol was able to do his thing, he got a charge and an ult off. The egg was pretty much just uncontested. It was Yol, or not Yol, Always Wanna Fly was the only person hitting it. And then he just gets charged again. Poor little disruptor trying to take out a giant Phoenix egg. Yeah, and someone had a blink to show off that fight as well too.
He's looking for the courier, he can get it too. Oh man.
Nothing on it, but still definitely something to help recover from that gold. He's got a bounty rune stashed up, he's got 1300 gold, so trying to make up for the lost farming time and that buyback.
Yeah. He's still doing okay, right? He can still start working into the Deco Saber.
Oh yeah, I mean, if we never mentioned that and you didn't see the thing, you would have no idea that actually happened. Like he's right on par. I mean, he's been farming very efficiently, especially with the bottle and the tread switching. He's been able to use the dark back to farm very efficiently.
Yeah, he has 153 losses, even more than the Alchemist has. Obviously, it's not going to translate into as much net worth, especially with the depths and the buyback and everything. But yeah, even without a Midas, he he's managing to keep himself at the top of his team in terms of net worth here, together with the DK. Just found a bit of an ancient stack himself, so.
Do you like this pickup on the Dragonite? He's going right into the BKB.
I think it's necessary this game. It's not gonna save you from the Spirit Breaker necessarily, all the Omni Slash or anything, but it will just stop you from.
Oh, Lil, you poor soul.
Poor guy. Well, BZ will stun himself at the very least, but yeah.
Wrong place, wrong time.
I feel like you just need a BKB to deal with all of this magic damage coming through it. Because physical damage you can deal with just his inherent armor, but magical damage is starting to be annoying, especially this early on with the Radiance, with the SS Bear, it's physical, so it doesn't count, but just a lockdown
but even
from the
so, I mean,
unstable
amp
concoction.
damage goes through it, Omni Slash goes through it,
Yeah,
Spear Breaker in its entirety goes through it pretty much.
It's,
Like,
it's definitely not
hard.
It's definitely not the best item to get in this game. Kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't at this stage.
Pretty much, and that's the worst part about it too. Because I mean, we mentioned in the draft like how that's one of Doom's biggest weaknesses is low armor value. I mean, he's got the Vlad's up, which is huge, and the Tranquil Boots finished up. So he's got 9 armor, but as soon as amp comes down, he's already down. He's already negative. So it's gonna be pretty rough for him from here on out. And I think I don't know. Is it too late to go mech? Like.
Not really. No.
I mean, CG wouldn't be bad either.
Iceberg.
I think just the utility. The blink is also huge too, though. Just getting it on the Alchemist. So
Iceberg.
a lot of options here.
Put the ball blocks into stun now. Silence there, and Yol will not be able to charge out. They'll
That
spot
was
him out.
vengeance right there.
Oh yeah.
That was sweet revenge.
They'll spot him out placing that ward, so that should be dewarded soon as well.
Yeah. So Dragonite actually, he just picked up the BKB, so full fresh 10 seconds on it. Kind of an issue with getting it this early. It's just you don't want to squander those charges. It's just going to become very, very valuable as the game goes on. But like we said, there's plenty of things that still go through it and make it very difficult in team fights. So he's really just looking not to get controlled, and so he can actually get everything off in his fights.
It's also
Hoping a
Bloodstone.
Blink Dagger might be next.
It's also Bloodstone done for Timbersaw here actually.
Wow, he's quietly acquiring a lot of farm.
There it is.
I mean, he's in the bottom half of the net worth, but that's like the biggest item for him. And considering how rough the last few minutes have been for him, I think that's still really huge.
They've prioritized him a lot actually. I'm just giving him some extra farm. 88 lasted on him. And always one fly is the only one who's kind of sacrificed obviously, but he still has his own for himself plus a magic wand. No upgraded
Which
boots,
is
so
fine.
hey, yeah, it's absolutely fine. All you really need on Disrupt is the levels. Max level Glims, 2 points of kinetic fields. That's more than enough.
A lot of big items here. We got the Midas picked up on the Phoenix, Auction on the Juggernaut. Actually, he went kind of early stat build for early fighting, but he also still picked up a very well-timed Battle Fury at 20 minutes. And then the Slark actually finishes the full Silver Edge with 1300 gold on top for Silence. So.
What do you think the
See
Silver
some
Edge is going
fighting
to be
here.
for?
I mean, let's see. What does it do? Blade Dance, the Bashes, and Grievel's Gree. Okay. I don't know. I think it's just for the stats, really. I mean, it's getting another Ultimate Orb in you isn't bad, right?
Yeah. Wonder how it interacts with kind of Juggernaut, if you can purge it off of Blade Fury or something. Because another aspect of the Silver Edge is that that the enemy does less damage for like 5 seconds. So you get it off here just before Juggernaut maybe goes into Omni Slash. I don't know exactly how the interaction works, but it works as advertised, and you should be dodging on a lot of damage there, which could be huge.
As promised by Ice Frog. As seen on TV. Man, see if they want to defend this bottom here. I don't know. I mean, everyone's got everything up too, so this will be interesting. We got the Sun, we got Doom, everything's good to go here. Double scan, side by side.
Oh god. I don't know which one is which.
No idea.
But yeah.
BZZ studying himself one more time. So he's got the bots, he's got the Manta, opting not to go for the O-Core right away, so going for that generic split push build, which we all know and love, right?
He's so huge though, right? I mean,
oh yeah. Well, I mean, even so, like even if you take away the fact that he's an alchemist, you just look at his effective farm, like Yeah, the problem is they really have anything to catch him out, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of why I wanted the Blink Dagger on the Dragon Knight, but he's got Hyperstones. It's likely going right in for the AC. So I mean, he's just gonna be able to split the map all he wants.
Oh, Oxen, they find him. Oh, Cowling comes in, tries to run interference here, same for y'all, but they can't quite get it. Oh, y'all... they should be fine. BZ starting up a stun, gets him silent. No poach out of right away there. Need one backlines sitting here. Statics almost our men. That's another free pickoff. Polarity just invade the jungle and find a couple of people here on the back of just a stock Shadowblade. Yeah, this is kind of the only initiation that's outside of the glooms, perhaps. But it's not really proactive.
The worst thing, look at Phoenix's inventory. Midas is off cooldown.
Oh no.
Oh, it pains me.
The value proposition.
They're just gonna take Roche. They're gonna take those 2 pickoffs and they're gonna go right into Roche. The Phoenix Egg was used, really, it was just so far out of the fight because the Juggernaut went for the Juggernaut instead. And ended up getting the glimpse and the pickoff anyway. So that's a free Roshan.
Yep, nothing that 5 can do up against this one. It's gonna be an Aegis for nobody.
I was thinking DK Phobos. Okay, Silent.
Silent was like, alright guys, we've done it. He just jumps out. They're like, hey guys, you have to pick up the... Oh, okay, never mind. I'll take it.
Well, he didn't want to drop his Quelling Blade or anything, so he gives up the TP screen.
Oh, top lane. Doom and Cowling here, Lil. Trying to keep up. He got the Infernal Blade off. That should be enough damage to help finish him off. And now... River turnaround perhaps. Yol goes for the ultimate. Couple of bashes, and now follow-up stun from BZ. They're gonna get the revenge.
You'll try to chaos with the Urn Charge.
Iceberg found himself another Invis rune. Oh god.
Oh my gosh.
Shot
the indirect stun.
Did you see that?
No.
They're gonna go on BZ here. Static Storm comes out. He doesn't have his ultimate here. Mantis trying to create a little bit of chaos, but the Static Storm plus the Rike is not actually doing all that much. Now our man has to be careful, has to pop his ultimate before he dies all the AoE. Always on fly, then backline just burning to the Radiance. As Iceberg, well, we'll just get chopped down by the Oxen here. See, makes a full rotation in the fight lasting more than long enough to make that happen. No silent, that's a dire sentry. He's gonna go on our man. He cannot make his... I can't barely get his Icarus type off silent. Pops his ultimate to try and get the chase on, but when you see him, he's just so slow. Now turning around to the Yol with the extra damage from Phobos. Might be enough, but no, it charges out as well. Never mind. They get him. Oh, BZ, double stun, follow up here. Oxen with the Battle Fury going in ham, and Lil able to keep himself alive a little bit longer thanks to the Bloodstone heal, but it's just only a matter of time until they track him down. And yeah, they're just bleeding. It was left, right, and center now.
God, they have to find some way just to stem the bleeding here. It's getting really bad really quickly, and I mean that wasn't such a huge change just because they got a couple pickoffs, but I mean you saw how that started, right? I mean,
yes.
It literally backfired in every way possible.
I mean, they did really want to make use of that Invis rune. It started with the attempt on the Alchemist before they realized, he's actually quite tanky right now, right?
Yeah, and he didn't even finish the Octarine core, I think.
Yeah,
he still has. He has plenty of gold. He's saving for buyback as well, but I mean he's farming so quickly. So he got 22,000 net worth right now. He's just balling out of control, and I think he just picked up on the courier now. So it is en route, and I mean Oxen. I mean you saw how much damage he was doing during that fight. I mean obviously everyone was pretty low, and he came in at the end, but still he's he's got quite a bit of farm to his own name right behind the Alchemist there. Yep. So once BZZ, I mean, he only needs a couple more items, and then he can just start buying Aghanims for everyone. And I mean, everyone that's outside of the Slardar can really benefit from it too. I mean, yeah, you don't see it too often, but I mean, you'll greatly appreciate it because it actually makes Nether Strike a real skill. It's not a half-hour cast time. It's pretty nice. You don't hear him just going, "Whoa!" No, he actually can cast the skill. He can actually Nether Strike somebody.
Yeah.
And being able to pull people into the egg would be huge, especially if they try to waste everything like they did in the Alchemist again.
Oh yeah.
So, and don't forget, it refreshes everybody's skill, so he'll be able to use the Chemical Rage again. So,
well, it's very low downtime with the Octarine Core anyway, so I don't think that's that's a huge problem. If you think about the Omni Slash, I know Ultimate's don't refresh, right?
Ultimate's no, actually, right?
Okay, that's unfortunate. But yeah, I mean, just a second here.
He wants blood.
Okay, he's going in deep onto Cowling. Sunray is there, and Shock Not quite enough damage. His Silent controlled up now. The backlines here. Omni Slash comes through, doing a decent amount of AoE damage as well with the Battlefield in back. Now, Ultimate on Iceberg also gets him out of the leash. Silent will pop his Aegis. As Phobos just trying to find angles to do damage, but they just can't. Polarity, just kind of falling apart, and now trying to turn it around here. BZ, doomed up, and with the no armlet going, I believe, but I don't know. He ticked out so fast after that. Now Armen caught with another pounce. Cowling gets a snipe off in the backline onto Dragon Knight, but Silent he's still hunting, still trying to find more. He's still pretty damn healthy after the Aegis comeback. Doubt that they would have just lost so much, but that Aegis allowed them to actually take a decent team fight there for Polarity. Didn't look like it in the beginning, but then she turned it around.
Just watching Iceberg not really be able to get anything done in these team fights is just really hard. I mean, the Slardar, like, he's been getting these amazing crushes. I even initiated on him, and he was still able to get 2 amps on. He got 1 onto the Dragon Knight. Spirit Breaker charging right through him, gets another strike out, and it's just he's just sitting there. Like, he's in Dragon form. He's got the AoE splash damage, but it's not enough. It's really just Silent that's really just doing things in these fights. I mean, the Doom was great, but I mean, Chemical Rage was already popped. Not that big a deal. And I mean, DK Phobos also doing quite a bit in that fight too, but it's just there's not enough damage. We've been through this multiple times. It's just not enough.
Look at always on the fly. Yeah, they're trying to give him some space. Almost level 11, but F5 they're exploiting that so hard right now. Make that smoke rotation. What?
Oh my gosh!
Come on,
no,
guys. I was like, what the hell? If he survived there,
they're leaving it up to the Urn Charge. That's CIS Dota though. It's like a Van score thing. Just like watching you die. Just like playing support Night Stalker. He had an Urn Charge and the guy was ticking out these random circles around him until it ticked out. Like, come on, man.
This is badass. That's what that is.
Pretty much. Like, what are you gonna do?
Well, Silent, they see him with this combo. Charge comes through, his invis ran out. Doesn't have the BKB to fall back on, but it's not gonna help you up again. Oh, pow! What? How? How?
I don't get it.
Did you see that?
I don't. What is this game? What is this game?
Blink crush, but he still jumped out. How? What?
That's why in every AP match you must ban Slark always. Always ban Slark.
He's just breaking the rules of the game, right? Literally. What the hell?
LOL Dota physics. Doesn't have to make sense, it's Slark. Alright, so now he's... Oh, wow, he's... Screw Scotty, screw Echo Saber. He's going right for a Demon Edge. He wants, I guess he's sick of missing the Alchemist. He wants the MKB.
Yep.
It's gonna be rough, though. I mean, it's a good thing he went for the Silver Edge. Now that makes he finished it off just because he knew he wasn't gonna go for the Scotty most likely. And he needs the little bit of extra stats, so he'll have right around 2k HP, which isn't too bad.
Oh, I was sort of flying to see him. What do they? Kinetic Field, nicely placed.
He's still baiting pretty hard though.
Yeah, he is. Silent shows himself now, going on to lane. There it is. BKB comes out. Gonna need some control from the Spirit Break, but he's focusing on DK Phobos on the back, so... Okay, it looks like Cowling is able to make his way out, but still DK Phobos here. Another nice connect field, keeping them in. Yold, first one to fall. Now BZ channeling up a stun, gets a double.
Oh,
there's no follow-up here. Oxen, he's doomed up right now. A little timeout, and does have the Omni Slash, goes for it now. It's always one fly down, the rest of it on between little Dick Phobos. Should be able to bring him down too, and they will. Sun comes out here. Will it explode? It will be denied, but still creating more than enough space for Cowling to come back in and grant Oxen an ultra kill. It's a full 5-man wipe on Polarity. That team fight just balled out of control for them.
Yeah, that's just embarrassing because you're really just watching Iceberg. Like, he couldn't get to the fight quickly enough. There's nothing TP2. He doesn't have a blink dagger. His move speed's not that great. He pops his ult and literally flies all the way down, you know, when everything's done. Silent doing the best he can. They got the Doom immediately off on the Juggernaut, which was great. But basically that just bought time for Slarda to throw amp damage off everyone. And then once the Doom wore off, he popped Omni Slash and killed 3 heroes instantly. Like, it's... And they had so much control in the Timber Saw, like DK Phobos, just like right now.
Try to go for the play here, force off into Crush. It's still good. They had another BZ stun off, and yeah, that plus the amp damage.
And they had a charge coming, they don't even need it.
Yeah.
It's getting grim, my friend. I'm gonna take a peek at the graph here.
Yeah, Polarity,
wow, look at
can't
that
even defend this. They have to be so careful.
Yeah, what do you do?
Just let you look at your towers die, I suppose. I mean, You need everyone to be alive, I think, to actually take a fight on high ground.
4 bloodstone charges on the timber saw
Oh.
too. Rough life. Yeah. Oxen and BZZ can just destroy things. Double Manta, like there's...
You can't
can
even
just throw
kill
illusions at
BZ
it.
now. They're gonna try here. Glimpse back into kinetic field. He is still going now. Nice charge here. Stop the damage coming out. Now Iceberg here being focused down by BZ and Oxen with the amp damage on top of him. The Oxen just spins to win. Now just continues to get always on fly too. One more right click will finish him off. It's 2 more down. Only Phoenix dead on the side of a 5. Is Silence still looking for more, but his ultimate runs out. Trying to control him up with the charges and the bashes, but oh god, look at that Oxen. He's just going ham. Sun will be able to make his way out there. Does not get dusted up. But still get the melee racks, still get another couple of extra kills, and all they lost was the Phoenix, which is more than fine. Fantastic 5 there in a commanding position right now in this game.
You know what? I'm glad to eat crow right now. I kind of bashed the bash load when he was picked up, just wondering how he was actually going to get kills. But he's doing so much. Like he's just controlling. They literally their team synergy is so on point. They find a hero, they control one, they kill another one, and the hero that was controlled, they just slowly move on to him. And the Spirit Breaker is making all that possible.
Yeah.
While his carries are just doing all the damage in the world right now. The Juggernaut just picks up a Scotty. Alchemist, I mean, he's not even finished with his AC, and he's already buying eggs for somebody.
Yeah.
He's
Spending enough room in a courier for everything.
30,000. He
Easy.
almost has 1,000 gold per minute. Like, what's going on right now? They have no way of catching him in this Dragon Knight. I mean, he's finally finishing an AC of his own, but it doesn't matter. You get into the fights and it's just Spirit Breaker, bash, 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 bash. I don't know.
Well,
Give me a win condition, DD.
you don't mess with the space cow.
No,
You just don't. That's a win condition right there.
His cosmic milk. His
I know.
cosmic milk is too strong. And he's got a flat too, so a little more sustained and silent. He's struggling just to kill the illusions here. MKB is finished up though, so this is at the cost of his buyback. So
Yep.
They're all in now. It's a best of 3 though, so
Oh,
you
they
gotta
see him though. Oh, the
Oh,
charge
Cow!
comes through. They have the amp doubly purged off. Now the static storm will miss completely here. Cowling will still die on the opposite side of it. Now the opposite is going to shoot Phoenix Sun on the high ground. Doing so much work here. DK was fully bashed up. Iceberg's silent. It's only silent actually being stunned down as BZZ. They really want to kill this guy. But even the Doom, it's not going to be enough here. Just turn it around. Cowling coming back. Yeah, just going in one by one now. Oxen man moding up against Silent. Always one fly unable to really help anybody. It's gonna be another 5-man wipe. Yeah, charge comes through. The glimpse back will stop that. But Cowling is just gonna take over. Force stuff into Crush. So buybacks a lot are definitely worth it as they get themselves another team wipe with it. They don't even stop for Roche here. They just want to get the base and no reason not to. There's only one buyback available. That's on a Doom. They just won the game right here.
Yeah, it was very methodical play by them, but yeah, it's just the decision making in the team fights, just knowing who to keep in place, who to keep in check, and like you just saw, like the management, like they're like, okay, well this guy already used Dooms, so we just keep Alchemist safe, and he rejoins the fight later, and yeah, they just called GG. It's just done. Yikes!
Oh, it's game 1. You take
Get
it quite
locked
handily
down,
by
kids.
5. Yeah. Polarity, they.
Get locked down. Seriously.
It's pretty damn good, yeah. But yeah, I mean,
Wow.
what did Polarity do wrong? Was it just was the draft kind of not being suited for this kind of for dealing with this kind of Maelstrom, really? Which
I
the
think-
Alchemist turned into, right? I mean,
Yeah,
at the
well,
very least,
that
you'd be
was
able
getting picked that late. Like, it was
Yeah.
difficult to really go with it. So, I mean, you can't really blame the draft entirely, but I agree with you what you said initially. Like, picking your supports, especially those 2 supports right away. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, Lil on the Doom, like, he made so much work early, but, I mean, it's still, you needed something else to kind of catch out the Alchemist. The Slark, I didn't really hate it at the time, but it's, I don't know, it's really kind of situational. They had a lot of things go wrong really quickly. The early buyback on the Slark as well was pretty questionable. There's just a lot of different things that they did odd, and it just kind of added up. And Polarity, just, I don't know, man. I'm just glad this is a BO3 because F5 just really kind of
Oh, yeah.
schooled them that game.
Yeah, 5. I mean, the rotations were just on point, right? They created so much space for BZ to farm, and he paid them back then later with just being an unkillable monster. Yol with the constant charges through here really made himself count. Juggernaut also with the early rotations here, securing a kill here and there. He ends at 13, 3, and 13. So
Yeah.
everyone just
Give
did
him that
the
kind of
job so well.
space,
Yeah.
you know. And Yol, I mean, 460 had 21 assists most in the game, and I mean, you felt it too. I mean, he was all over the map at all times, which is exactly what you're
Yeah.
supposed to do. And his team capitalized. So, congrats to them and a very strong game 1 performance.
Yeah, as you said earlier, this is a best of 3, so Polarity have another chance to tie it up and still keep their tournament hopes alive. That game 2 will be coming up in just a couple of moments' time, so don't go anywhere.